Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Windy Citycast. Today we got a couple of special guests. I'm returned by my host, Mr. Trella.
Hey guys, I'm back.
So it looks like Arena is not better than him, and he's back to being the best. But I'm accepting more blackmail, so we can get that going. And we're included by number 2 centerman, Willy or Nick Tox.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
And alternate captain for the Crows, big guy, big man. Or actually, are you the captain or alternate? I forgot.
I'm captain on the Crows.
Or not Crows, fuck.
Yeah.
Start it over.
Cyclones. No, we're just padding for time. I'll make a lot of mistakes, but it'll increase the time of this podcast. Spooner McGee or Scruff Daddy.
Hello.
So we got you here to talk about your players and what you want from the league and what you want to do in it and how it's different from other leagues you're in. But why don't you just talk about when you made your player and looking at all the shit you did, like looking at all the attributes you put stuff into to start and kind of what you were thinking, picking your archetype and just making your build. So, Nick, why don't you go?
Well, at first I was thinking a defenseman, but ultimately decided to go center and to be a complete face-off ace and just dump everything into face-offs. And then I chose to be a dangler because who doesn't want to dangle around all of the other people on the ice?
Yeah, and I mean, how is this different from like other players you built maybe in SHL or GOMHL or whatever you're in? Like, how is this different from those guys?
Well, SHL, I got a two-way he's all right. He's doing okay.
He's pretty good at face-offs too, huh?
Apparently, yeah. It's not his natural position, but he does it. And then GOMHL, I have a grinder type, heavy checking and heavy passing.
So you wanted to go more pure offense with this guy, but still be
sure.
reliable.
That's right.
So that's a good build. And then how do you think you did with that? Like, maybe not looking at stats, but just like the way you put attributes in. Are you happy with kind of how you've been able to build your vision so far in the way we have the forum and the build set up? Do you think you have attributes to choose from?
So far, it's pretty good. I could use a little bit more TPE, put it into some stamina or something like that. But it's going well.
That's good. Trello, why don't you talk about yours and then you can ask Scruff about his guy.
So, basically, I'm in quite a few sim leagues, and I've never made a D-man except for a short stint as an active D-man in GOMHL, but I don't really count that. So basically, I wanted to make a D-man. I knew that coming into it, and I knew that if I decided to take a GM job, like being a good top 2 D-man would be good for a team. So basically, I was thinking of making like a really defensive D-man, but I wanted to see some results in the sim, especially because Cuddles in the SHL is more like a hitter, kind of grindy forward. So I decided to make a D-man who would score points. And I was really considering doing the passing thing, but I figured that most people would be going with a passing D-man. And so that really led me to the point shooter archetype, so I can just clap bombs and fuck moms, score some goals. And it just worked out that me and Clint were going to make brother players, so he was able to make the playmaking D-man that he wanted to make. So all around it just worked out,
Yeah, and then... Oh, go ahead.
Can you really say fuck on this podcast? I don't think you should be able to say fuck.
Oh, fuck, sorry. You just said it twice, dude.
Fuck these little kids.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Don't you swear on my Christian Minecraft server, bud. But yeah, I mean, how have you been able to put your stats in what you like,
I mean, like, I already have 70 slap shot, which is probably the best in the league already. It's probably a little overkill, but, fuck it. I probably should have put that into some other things, but whatever. I've put a lot into skating and off the puck and stuff like that. My speed is maxed out already, so I think I've been able to put some attributes into the right things for an offensive D-man. But I think Windy needs a little more defensive stuff, so I'm going to work on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of easy to forget that when you're a D-man, you still, even though you're an offensive D-man, you still got to do the defense stuff. That's the most important part of your game. You're kind of, if you can get points, that's great, but at the end of the day, you still got to play defense. So that's kind of where a lot of people went wrong. And then Scruff, you have a different type of D-man.
Yeah, I really like playing defensive players, even though we don't get the stats that everyone else. Something that this is my second sim league, right? I started with SHL like back a season ago, and made a defensive player there. And the thing was like I haven't watched hockey that much until like last year-ish, even though like I grew up around it a bit, but never really got into it. And then I just like went full force into it. And I was looking at the sim league and I was like, oh, like this is a great opportunity to like learn more about the sport. And it's kind of obvious when you're like, oh yeah, they're scoring points, they're getting assists. That seems like the obvious stuff. So my approach was like, oh, I want to play a defensive player and kind of learn what it's like to be them. I know it's not like the most realistic thing, but I was still like learning about all the different aspects of being a D-man. And then that kind of carried over into this league. One of the things that I really liked looking at this was like all of the mental attributes. That's what really jumped out at me. Because when I'm picturing my player, like he has a personality, right? And you can't really get that by just saying what they're good at, right? Like, oh yeah, this person's really good at skating, but what does that mean for them as like a person? So that's kind of what I was really liking about this. I kind of like see my character. I see my player as like a leader on the ice kind of guy, as like that kind of towering defenseman. Like being from Boston, I see Chara. I'm like, oh yeah, leader on the ice. As of like how I was able to build him though, it's really funny that now we're talking about how much we need stamina, and I like imagine my player as like, that's something that would be important to him. But I took a lot of like technical skills and mental attributes, and like everyone's like, oh, skating is so important, so I put like I'm pretty well rounded in all of my skills that I care about and different types of skating. But then the one thing that I do really like is stamina, and then I left it off completely to be good, and then it's like, oh yeah, all of a sudden now I need to like bump that so hard.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to be looking for from the sim if you can't get your apples and your goals? What kind of stats are you looking at to really make sure your player is going the way you want it?
I mean, the natural thing is hits, but I was actually thinking about that, right? Because the style that I imagine my defenseman playing, like I don't actually want that many shot blocks because I want to like mess up the play before the shot ever happens. So I'd be kind of interested to see like some mix of like ice time plus minus and shot blocks, right? If I get a lot of ice time and I'm not super negative and I don't have a lot of block shots, does that maybe mean that I'm messing up the play before it happens,
Yeah. Well, and the interesting thing with the live sim is you can see your player actually doing that. You can look for him, follow him, see if he's making smart defensive plays, forcing the dump, that kind of shit. So that's why I feel like this league is actually way better for a defensive type of player like you want than maybe other ones are.
Yeah, I'm really gonna like that part, like actually watching it. Whereas I think I'm gonna care about stats less in this league and be more about like, the role playing nature of the player and watching them play and stuff like that. Where stats I can like I really like the Simon T style output for stats because I actually like program up scripts to like look it through all the stats and build my own stats off of it and stuff like that. And I don't feel like that's the same. I don't think you can get that from this league, but this league is gonna be more fun from like the playing aspect, I think.
Well, I think once we get the index and like the output right, you'll probably be able to see everything.
Yeah,
but right now, definitely not.
They actually have an HTML generator for each game that you can pull up the stats, but I was looking at it, looks like just goals and penalties. I don't know if it has even like the list of players and what they did in the game, So
I saw something in the Discord that looked like that, but it showed face-offs and hits and everything. So
oh, really?
It just wasn't really that in depth though.
Yeah, we'll look at improving that. Right now, just getting the sim going without any hitches is the rough part. Charlie, you got any questions?
Yeah, I got a couple lined up for you guys. So Scruff, how do you feel about getting like the captaincy early right now? I know you talked about wanting to be like an honest leader. Like, how did that make you feel that we named you the captain?
Yeah, I think that really fits in with the role. Now, I think other people, in terms of like their knowledge of the sim and looking at all that stuff, like might be better suited. But as far as like the role of the player that I'm building, I think it fits perfectly. Like he's supposed to be this kind of like natural leader on the ice, as I was talking about. So I was really happy about that.
Yeah, your player. We saw you had leadership, and I know in the sim, if you have a captain that has good leadership, it affects every other player in your team positively. So like, you're a great dude in the locker room, and your player is perfect for the role. So there really couldn't be anyone that's much better for it.
Yeah, and I know that Joe also wanted to be kind of a leader guy, and he's great, but he didn't invest anything into leadership. So I know we made him the alternate, but I don't know if we gave. I guess we gave Scruff the C. So
Yeah.
good job on that, and I think you do deserve that. Nick, do you think you want to be some kind of leader, or would you be fine being, the offensive guy who's never maybe the captain, like maybe a real life example like Patrick Kane, he is a leader and he leads on the ice, but like he never gets a letter because other guys got it. Are you okay with that
You
kind
know,
of thing?
yeah, this player, I don't really plan on him being the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Was never in the build. I think Scruff is a great choice for on the ice and off. Yeah, I mean, this is not something I would be interested in. Not for Billy Willy.
Yeah. You can spend traits on other stuff that's more beneficial, not only to your build, but then it would help out the team. Whereas leadership, it's almost like you are sacrificing making your player better to help out the team.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that fits with what I was talking about earlier too, right? Like I'm not going to be super crazy about the stats here, but it
Mm-hmm.
fits the role and it helps everyone out, so I'm happy to like dump points into leadership.
I mean, I was thinking at one point, like, I'm gonna be a third liner, so like the way I build my player is important, but I don't have to be that top end player because I'm never gonna get those minutes. So I was thinking like if I could bump up my leadership and get it to where I help out the team by having good leadership and being an alternate captain, like then our other players could worry about making themselves better, whereas I'm on the third line anyway, so that doesn't matter as much as maybe the top line right wing or the top defenseman or that kind of stuff. So it's interesting on like building your player, but also trying to get those other little bits in there, and it's juggling all these attributes and figuring out what exactly we fucking need to be good.
Yeah, it's kind of rough figuring it out because there's so many attributes going in that no one really knows what's going to make you good, what's going to make you suck. So it's kind of just like you're feeling it out at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, we are trying different strats in the sim. It's been a little hard to test sim because the file's been kind of changing a lot and there are some issues. So testing a whole season is even rough, but I think they're figuring it out one way or another. So it is cool to see that. And so Nick, what kind of what are you looking for? Do you want personal stats like a good like point per game and that kind of stuff? Are you looking for maybe awards like best most points or MVP or that, or do you want team awards, President's Trophy, even the Cup, that kind of stuff, and just be successful with your team even at the cost of not having a lot of personal stuff?
Well, I mean, Team Awards is always great. It's always great to win the cup and everything like that. Uh, personal awards are it's always nice too. It's always a little cherry on top.
And if you got neither,
If I get neither,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna have to hit the practice rink a couple more days a week.
What about you, Scrub?
Again, I actually really liked Irina Cheklova's answer to that one. Like getting voted by the team to say like, oh yeah, this person is like noticeably a member of the locker room for these reasons or that. Like, I think that means a lot, especially since again I'm not building that like character that's trying to get really high individual stats. That and obviously like hoisting the cup, right? Like that's always great.
Yeah. And I mean, that's something I wanted to talk to Trell about too. I mean, obviously, St. Louis, we got the Crow Awards, but that's mostly picked by Ryan. But maybe we have more of a team thing. You go vote your friends in.
Yeah, we
And
could do like a straw poll kind of thing, maybe.
yeah, who you thought was the best point getter, but funniest memes in the locker room, that kind of stuff. Just
You could do superlatives for people, like not necessarily awards that go year over year, but you just pick something for everyone.
Yeah.
most likely to
Nick.
fall over. That kind of stuff. I don't know. It could be fun. Lots of ideas to throw around to kind of get more activity in the LR and get people just having fun and hanging out. I do think Joel and I did a decent job at getting that LR set up where people wanna like come back and check in and see how everything's going. We got a lot of fun channels. And we do play
Do you have
games
that
like this.
gnome yet? That's the important question.
God damn it! Oh,
We
I'm
don't
working
have
on
the
it.
gnome.
I'm
You
working
promised
on
him.
it. I'll get several gnomes for your viewing pleasure.
One for each mood of the day whenever I need them.
We don't have enough sad emotes. We have a lot of laughing and evil emotes. I don't know. Whenever
I think
want to
that
do
says a lot about our locker room, really.
Whenever I want to do a sad emote, I got to do the SpongeBob one.
We don't need
I
no
like
sad emotes.
my personal favorite is probably the minion with the laughing face on it. That was hilarious.
My
Yeah,
mom
that's it.
sent me a Christmas card with a picture of her lawn and just tons of fucking Santa minions. So just wanted to share that.
Wow.
That sounds awesome.
So, Trella, got any more questions?
Yeah. So obviously we've had like a couple issues in the league so far, but are you guys like still excited to see what happens? Like I know I am, even though it's been a little rough. Like I think that it's still going to go well. So how excited are you guys to see what happens with your players, with the league, how it goes in the future?
5 out of 7. For sure.
Not bad. Not sure why it's out of 7, but
See,
not bad.
It's See, you're pretty succinct in your article answers, and it boned you. So maybe you should work on your bullshitting game here. Get that word count up.
Yeah, what are we at? 45 minutes? 75 minutes?
Almost
where are we
20. We're not doing bad. We're a third.
Oh, okay. We're doing all right.
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
But elaborate.
Oh, I'm very excited to see where this league goes, and I'm hoping that this team actually takes off and does better than every other team. Yeah. Plus, we got the better players, anyways, in the best locker room, obviously.
And
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, right? Like already we've had what, like how many games? 3 or something?
It's 6.
So like even with that, like we've already been hanging out in the locker room together, having a great time. So like already the league's worth it, and we can be patient because it's all like brand new territory and stuff like that. So it's like at this point, along for the ride, having a good time here, and like looking forward to seeing the cool visual sims, like that visual sims and the mental attribute role playing. Like those are the things I'm most excited about, and yeah, I'm ready to be patient for it, especially since like this isn't my only rodeo right now, so it makes it easier to like be patient for it and like not put all my eggs into the basket and get bummed out or anything.
Yeah, watching the visual sims is awesome. That's like my favorite part so far. Definitely, you turn it on, you see your players skating around. When your team scores a goal, you actually see it, and it's hype. It's awesome. I love that.
Yeah,
my girlfriend was joking about playing the organ like for The Sims to make it like a real game.
Get her on Discord so we can hear it.
Yeah. Maybe this will be the league to have more fun with, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
since I'm more focused on role playing stuff. The SHL, I spend so much time on like messing around with the scripts that I have and like turning that into a fun hobby. But here, I'm not going to be able to put out like nearly as much like media content or like written content or coding or anything like that. So here, we got to hop on the podcast and earn money the fun and interesting ways.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a good way to earn the money.
For sure.
I did want to ask you, say worst comes to worst and we're not top of the league, and in fact, maybe we're even low in the league. Do you think that'll affect how you feel about the team and how you feel about the future, or are you Windy City for life? And you can be honest, like, if you feel like it
WCC for
would,
life.
if you feel like it would affect you, I can work on courting you back, but feel free to say if we were at the bottom, how you would feel about that.
I think it'd be fine, right? Like, we're still in the locker room, regardless of where we are in the standings.
Exactly. The locker room is very big for me. It doesn't matter if we're losing every single game. The locker room's great. I'm great.
Nice.
Yeah, I
And
think we built like a really good environment for everybody. Like even when we had that downtime when the sim got delayed and everything was fucked up, there was talk every single day, all night. It was super fun.
do you trust in your GM's ability to work on the issues of the team and make it better for the next season?
No.
Fuck you, Trella. Scruffer Nick?
I mean,
Go ahead. You got it.
I was gonna say, yeah, like, you guys are clearly spending a whole lot of time on this, right? Like, I listened through the draft podcast, and like, it sounds like we're in good hands. You guys are gonna figure it out and do what needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Slash, I've worked with you as WJC GM, and you did awesome.
Oh, thanks.
So I have full confidence in you.
I mean, we got a draft coming up. I don't know if this class will be any good, but I feel like we have the ability to draw in free agents. We have a lot of people who are happy with the LR, and I'm sure they're fine telling other people how happy they are with the LR and making them kind of jealous. I'm sure other teams have good LRs too, but I don't know if it's quite the same. I mean, I feel like this is even a better LR than I have in any other league. Like, it's just, I'm really happy with how it turned out, and it's fun to be in there and just talk to everyone, and we all mesh very well. There's no one butting heads or anything, so it's fun to be in there.
Yeah, I mean, Slash and I spent like a lot of hours scouting for this draft and kind of figuring out who we want to make a good locker room. So I think it really paid off the work we put in for it because everything is super great.
Yeah, that, and I think these like group podcasts and group articles and stuff like that are going to be a big draw.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
like that group article I made, it's a lot for like kind of like creating your players, like your player's identity, but it's also a way for everyone to answer questions, get some easy money, just easy word count. You really don't have to put any effort into it. You just kind of like, oh, I want this. You put it down. And then everyone compiles it together. We get bonuses on the article, and everyone makes more money than they would have. So it's a good way to like bring the team together a little bit.
Yeah, and like one of the hard parts for starting media, right, is figuring out what you want to write about, and you kind of do all that heavy lifting for it.
It's almost
that's what I wanted.
It's almost like a PT, but like, I don't know. I feel like to keep people engaged in this league, you're gonna have to do more to get people talking about their player and maybe even building their players' kind of lore or whatever you want to call it, kind of getting them more involved in thinking and being excited about their career than just upping your TPE and doing the PTs. I think you're gonna need them to talk about their aspirations and why they play the sport, and like not just 150 words, but like kind of in fun ways, like describe stuff that happened in the locker room or at the practice skate, like just kind of fun stuff where you can make stories with your friends and play around. Like, we've been having fun on the Twitter, just role playing our people and the pranks we pull on each other. So
Yeah, I
I
gotta
think,
get on that Twitter.
yeah, I think that's very important to keeping people satisfied in this league.
I think I need
Yeah.
to add some of you guys.
Also, how many people like are really doing the PTs too? Like, I know I just do a claim, right? Like, this isn't anybody's like first sim league, is it? So I think a lot
Probably
of people
not.
are just.
I'd say a good 80-90% of the stuff is welfare. So
I
that's
mean, the only people whose first sim league this is maybe some like the EHM guys that people know.
yeah.
But other than that, everyone's from another sim league. That's how we got them here, you know? That's how we're all got here.
So I think that's a part of why there might be less engagement is people they look at this and they're like, this is their second league, so they're doing the welfare, they'll update their guy, hope they're good, and they check in and the sim is delayed or there's a problem with it and they go, oh, what the hell? And then they go back to their other league and look at that stuff. So it's kind of like, I just feel like at this point, it's kind of a crucial moment to start getting people excited. And
Yeah, I mean,
For
looking
sure.
forward
it's
to
not like
each day. Go ahead.
we gotta figure out something to get the site bumping a little more. I feel like that'd be beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, the site does seem a little bare at the moment. There definitely could be a couple of things that could happen to pique my interest.
And
Yeah, for sure.
I've been talking to Cal, we've been giving him suggestions, but like honestly, at this point, I don't care if we're inflating TPE or money or whatever. Let's just start throwing stuff around and get people. I mean, the 12 days of draft miss was kind of fun because everyone signed on and did stuff. You know, the rookie test where you write your article, people were doing stuff. I mean, if we throw around a little more TPE and money just to get people thinking more about their characters and doing stuff on the site and signing in and checking out other people's stuff, like I think it'd be a much more fun place, and I think people would care less about hiccups in the sim if we're building more of a community like that, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can't follow like the same. Oh, sorry.
no, you're good.
I was gonna say you can't follow all the same traditional rules, right? Like everything. It seems like a lot of stuff that's going on here is like normal for sim leagues, but you know, like a lot of those other ones are established, right? So like, what do we have to do differently to make sure this one like kind of kicks off?
What do you think, Nick?
What do I think? Well, I think that there definitely does need to be more stuff to do. I don't know if they ever talked about fantasy leagues or anything like that. That would be kind of interesting, seeing that everyone's kind of even right now. If they inflate the TPE, though, that might be a little bit unfair to future people. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're season 1, we should get the bonuses, right?
Yeah. I mean, right now I just think getting over that hump of, you know, is this league going under? Are we going to have problems with the sim that we can't fix? That kind of doubt and like kind of nervousness. We just got to distract ourselves and have some fun. I mean, I've been trying to do that in the LR, just getting good games and memes going around. We don't care how our team's doing. We're just having fun, taking selfies or shit posting or doing whatever. So hopefully that hasn't mattered much. But I think as a league wide thing, like I don't know if other GMs are able to kind of calm people's nerves about the league, and so I think
Oh,
just having a backup plan of let's all have fun doing this thing would be way better for all of us.
well, who knows if other GMs are acting like you guys are, keeping everyone involved.
I personally don't know. I don't know any other locker rooms, so.
Yeah, I don't got a clue about any other locker room really. Like, I'm sure they're all active considering it's so early on in the league and everyone's still kind of excited. But I don't know if other teams are doing like the the extracurricular kind of stuff.
Is there like a locker room or like a Discord for all of the GMs together, right? You could,
Yeah.
raise that question.
I mean, I'm not gonna ask people how their LRs are. Like, they'll probably go, "Oh, it's great." Like, I don't actually know though. I mean, I'm sure.
We got the best locker room ever.
I'm sure even dead locker room GMs would go, "Oh yeah, it's great." Like, there's no way to know how bumping a locker room is until you're fucking in it. You know?
You gotta plant spies.
Yeah.
Just like I'm a spy in another server.
Now you're the only /ACM there.
Yeah, you
That's
are.
true. That's true.
Got him. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a little talk about the state of the league, but I feel like we're still heading in a good direction. We'll get it all fixed. I mean, the live sim is so fucking awesome. I mean, someone tagged me. They're like, "Bro, you scored a goal." I'm like, "Holy shit! I watched the play. It was fucking awesome. It was really fun." That goal was ripped out of my fucking
R.I.P.
hands, but it was still awesome while it lasted. So just seeing that, I mean, it makes me wish I made an offensive player now, because seeing that was awesome. I'm still gonna like my build and how it goes, but just being able to, you know, you see the stat sheet. Oh, you got an assist, you got a goal, you made a save. You imagine that in your head, right? But actually seeing it, even if it's little fucking dots going around, it's something. So that
You see
kind
all
of
our
got,
dots come together and party.
yeah. I mean, that got
Yeah,
me
we got a
hooked. I
little
really
going.
loved that, and I really loved being in the voice chat with, you know, some of our guys in the LR. Were watching the live stream. Someone scores, you go, yeah! You fucking literally cheer. Like, it's,
Unless they're a minute behind.
yeah. I mean, it's fucking fun. So that was just a good time, and I think that's the main hook I would sell. So getting more people invested in this sim is vital.
And it will definitely come with time.
Yeah, and while the leagues get
Still a new
bigger,
league.
like there are gonna be a ton of people watching the Sims. Like the Sim chats are gonna be buzzing. It's gonna be cool. You know, everyone's gonna be smack talking each other a little bit. When their team scores, they're gonna cheer. When their team gets scored on, they're like, "Oh, come on!" It's gonna be a good time. I'm really looking forward to all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get that mass trash emoji in the general. I'll bribe Cal to do it.
Oh, that'd be
great.
awesome.
We just spamming it. We don't need nitro, bitch. Any other thoughts on anything you want to bring up?
We need someone to announce the games live. That's all I'm saying.
I think that'd be fun. Just getting someone, pay them just a fuckload of money, because I mean, it's difficult
That's
in a
gonna
lot
be
of
hard
time.
as hell.
It would be very difficult. We'd probably have to do an actual slowed down one. It'd be really hard to track the play. Or if, like, I don't know.
I don't think it could be live by any means.
Yeah, you'd probably have to pre-record it, and maybe even doing highlights, so you could do it over the highlights, split it up, figure out an infrastructure. I mean, we got time, but having live commentaries, you know, McGee passes to Cheklova. Cheklova moves it up, dumps it in, retrieved in the
Wow.
corner by Jensen. You know, that kind of stuff would be really fucking fun.
I mean, why not though?
Why not do that?
Do it now. Yeah, get two people doing the sim, watching
You
it.
gotta learn the numbers,
Commenting.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, they're just dots with the numbers. You don't know them yet, so it would take some doing and getting someone who cares enough to fucking do that. You know, I mean, I did a little announcing on that All-Star thing, and it's fucking hard as shit. So
He's gonna have two people who can just do it. You know, have like
Yeah.
one game a week that has two
Someone-
commentaries.
someone who really likes it. You know, I mean, I don't know about other leagues like PBE. They do like live games, right? Live streams.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier to kind of announce what's going on in
Well, yeah.
baseball because it's a way slower game. You know.
But, you know,
Way
something like that, a Wednesday night rivalry, you know, that kind of stuff with actual, you know, like a primetime game or something. That's a great idea, and it would definitely draw more people. You just got to find someone who really wants to do it and pay them a lot and let them know they're valuable, you know. Maybe even TPE. I mean, I don't care at this point. Just getting people having fun on this. I don't care if we're giving them too much TPE. Like, fuck it. That'll become a problem later on, but right now we just gotta fix this problem now.
Yeah.
I think so. When I first learned about sim leagues, so this is kind of like a fun story.
Sure.
When I first learned about sim leagues in general was when I learned about SHL, and I was on a road trip up to Vancouver to go see a Bruins game, and like I found someone like announcing one of the games. It ended up, before I knew anywhere about where I was going to end up, I think I listened to a game that was the Whalers and Scarecrows in like the previous season finals. Slash, did you do one of those? Because like I vaguely think it might have been you before I knew who you were.
Which season was it? Season 43 playoffs?
Yes.
I commentated game 5 in which I got pulled and we lost the cup.
Did you make your own like commercials?
No. I think.
Okay.
Who did the commercials?
That might have been
Toe Dragon.
or
He does
Tommy.
commercials.
Toe Dragon. I don't know if he did one in that one.
I should go back and find out who it was now that I like know everybody or know a lot of people, because I ended up listening to the game in the finals for the team that I ended up being on, and it was kind of like one of the things that got me hooked to the league, right? Like, oh, people are like really into this. They went and they made a whole goddamn like game announcement thing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, that's the kind of involvement I think we need. I mean, I have a legendary play-by-play in which I got shelled for 4 goals on 15 shots and got pulled in my own play-by-play. But I mean, that's the kind of fun you can have, though. I mean, I got pulled, and it sucked, but then I could talk about the emotions my guy felt and like actually roleplay that, and it was kind of fun to do that. Like he stormed off into the hallway and in the locker room to get changed or whatever, and kind of make that a big deal and a big moment, and then they win the cup. So that kind of stuff really gets people involved, I think, and could be fun. And I mean, when I was starting out in SHL, like they had the post-game shows, and I just didn't know a lot about anything in the SHL, so it's kind of harder to do that. And I feel like now that we mostly have vets, I feel like, not new Sim League guys. Like, they're mostly been around in other ones, so it'll probably be easier to do that kind of stuff and talk about it. But just getting engagement, having some fun.
Yeah. That should come over time. It really should.
Yeah, the most important thing is just getting a good, solid base of people who really care about the league,
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to get that in our LR right now, making sure everyone's invested in moving forward and grinding that TP and making sure we can be the best that we can. And we're trying to figure out how to build our players the best we can, but we have no fucking clue, so it's fun figuring that out.
Tough. I mean, well, it'll come, It might take a little while, but we can do it.
Oh, for sure.
Alrighty. We got any fun questions? Let's think of some fun ones.
Who invented shower selfies? Shower selfies.
Shower selfies?
Oh, yeah. Tell us.
So someone explain what shower selfies is for the people who aren't in the LR. The jealous people out.
Well, I've done enough talking, and I already did a podcast this week, so one of you guys do it.
Shower Selfies is a Discord channel where I post pictures of my dog's butt.
That's pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah, and then no one knows what you put. We're like, what the fuck is that? You're like, my dog's ass. I'm like, I don't see it. Draw a diagram, please.
We're not seeing it.
And then you just made it more confusing. No one got it. But yeah, I mean, it was just a selfies channel, and then someone was talking about hanging out in the showers in the locker room, like after a game or something, and I'm like, well, now it's shower selfies because we're in the shower, so. And then we get actual shower selfies. I mean, no one's fucking naked. I mean, we got Clinton Blues on the team, so we got to be careful about that. But it's just kind of fun, get people to know each other, as close as you can get. Yeah, as close as you can get to know each other. So just doing fun little shit like that and becoming friends. It's really good.
For sure.
Anyone else?
I mean, the Shower Selfies channel, it's kind of a meme that it's supposed to be like not safe for work and like really like inappropriate, but there's nothing ever like really inappropriate, and it's kind of just really innocent. Share selfies of each other like with the shower handle on the back or with like the water running, but like nothing else. And that's pretty fun,
I don't know. My dog's butt is pretty adult only.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a face coming out of it too, right?
Yeah, my friend. I always send that to my friend, and he drew a face and a bow
What the
tie and
fuck?
stuff like that on it. And then that's what I sent when you asked for a diagram.
That was so confusing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
so
know what
good.
the fuck was going on. Alrighty, let's just start talking about random shit then, because we got 20 minutes to kill.
I
Let's
see you found
go.
Anime Mecha
Oh
too.
yeah, what the fuck? Get the fuck off my island.
No, dude, this I haven't. I found like some of the edges. I found the northern edge, and the.
Dude, me and Nick had been at war the whole game because Nick attacked.
Yeah, we have been at war the
Really?
whole
And then Nick
game.
settled the city right on my border.
Scruff and I are peaceful.
Yeah, I want to be peaceful, but Nick's
Alright,
like,
enough about this shit.
I-
We gotta talk NSHL though.
He's got a point. We do.
Here, what is your most hated NSHL team and why?
Pretty easy. It's Mass.
What'd they do, Nick? What'd they do?
They stole my wife, man.
You got cucked by Mass?
That ain't cool, man.
Literally cuckolded.
I just saying, man. You don't steal someone's wife. You don't do that.
It's a power move, but we're not gonna give in, so.
I mean, good luck. 99% sure it's gonna go inactive, but hey, good luck to you.
I mean, the fun thing is they didn't realize that can backfire, and you're probably a lot better at convincing her to maybe be fucking annoying in there than Ace is at convincing her not to be fucking annoying, so she could have some fun with them.
It's a planted seed, all right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about some pimple popping videos or stuff like that.
Oh yeah, just share those all over the place. People want to see that.
Oh, for sure.
We have a great locker room, but she can make sure that those people have not so great locker room.
Well, we want everyone to have a good locker room, but we can make it a little more uncomfortable for them.
Some locker rooms more great than others.
Yeah,
that's right.
Not all locker rooms are created equal.
We're top tier. No one's gonna get up to us. I'm not worried about that.
Not all locker rooms are created equally.
What about you, Trella?
What about me? It's gotta be Mass.
What'd they do?
Mass trash, and I'm from the Mass area, so it's kind of cool. Taking shots back at home. Fucking around with Ace, and Ace has been buddies for a little while. It's a good fun. We got Carl over there, my pretty good buddy. Shoot some shots. I mean, you've seen my thing where it says like Sea Patrol playing Windy City over Mass. We're just creating the rivalry there. Divisional rivalry is going to be tough for a long time, so might as well.
Yeah, it's not so much of a personal vendetta as Nick, but fuck him.
Yeah, it's all good fun for me, to be honest.
You got a not so liked team, Scruff?
I mean, I'm gonna have to just answer the same as everybody else and say Mass, but that's actually a different reason though, because if there was, one, they're the only other team that I actually know about so far, because there's a bunch of people on that team that I would have liked to play with. So like that was the other team that I submitted an IP to. Now that I'm not playing on their team, they're going to be the rival until we have an actual rival to go with. That's like the only team that is relevant to me right now. The only other team that's relevant to me, that is.
Yeah, and I mean, Charles and I talked about this a little bit on the draft podcast, but with the GMs they have, it's almost like, the VHL guys know they're VHL guys. The SHL guys know they're SHL guys. But the tricky thing with Luke and Ace is we basically know the same people, and who are the good same people, and who are the, maybe annoying same people. So we have like a shared wealth of who we want to draft, so we were just taking from each other the whole time. I want this guy. Shit, he just took him. I'll take this guy next. Oh, they just took him. We got to get this guy before Ace takes him. That's the kind of rivalry that was built just on draft day, because we have such similar drafting mindsets that it was tough to get everyone we wanted.
Yeah, that was the toughest part. Yeah, because we had such similar mindsets going into the draft that you never knew who they were going to take. And they had a lot of guys that we wanted, and I'm sure we took a lot of guys that they wanted. So
if Ace wasn't GM, that draft would have been a fucking piece of cake. We wouldn't have been sniped nearly as much, I don't think. But I mean, I'm happy with the team we got, so maybe it's meant to be,
Yeah. Thank you, Ace. We got the best locker room because of you.
Not to say that the guys we didn't get would also not make this the best locker room. I mean, I would love to have Carl over here and all those guys. Blast. Duder and
Blast,
Cal and get all
Duder,
those
for sure.
guys. Well, we still have a chance, you know.
Yeah, you know,
we got some
there's
money
always something.
to throw around. All I'll say. But for me, I'm pretty upset at fucking UConn right now because they got that shit ass resim. Like, what the fuck? And now they're like, no more resims. Like, I'm pretty salty about that.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, though. We just got to move on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fuck
that
'em.
wasn't very cash money of them, though, I'm going to say.
not very cash money. I agree. Some very vocal people being upset. I mean, I'd be upset too. It's a lose-lose situation. You're never gonna please anyone, or not please everyone.
Someone's
But
always going to lose in that one, and you know, it's us this time. No big deal.
Cal owes me. He owes me big favor, big hand job. I get hand job.
I mean, if that's what you want, okay.
Anyway, let's talk. You know what? Let's talk about free agents because we only have one person ending season 1, and that's Ace Lightning or Harvey Danger. And I mean, I like the guy. He's really fun to be around. If he wants to test free agency, I'm cool with that. I'm prepared to extend him. I mean, he's a good 3C. He's a two-way forward that fits well with our kind of vision for the third line. I mean, I don't know if he's hoping for second line minutes. I don't know if you can as a two-way forward because we got so many danglers and snipers and speedy forwards. I don't know if that's kind of a realistic expectation to want to be that high up as a defensive or more defensive-minded player, but we'll see how it goes. But there's some other big names in like Duder and Cal are huge ones. I mean, Duder might not be the highest TPE now, but or like he's kind of low draft pick, but don't sleep on Duder, man. He's great. And then obviously Cal, commissioner, 5th overall pick. You know, that 1-year deal is really interesting. What do you guys think about that?
I think he requested that 1-year deal. I don't think he wanted to stay on that team very long.
Mm-hmm.
I
But,
think it's pretty interesting that Vegas had so many 1-year deals. Right.
Could have to do with the reputation of their GMs. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't really know them too well, but it seems like they don't really have a great rep.
It's Carbine and JCF.
Oh, I don't know them.
No?
I don't know him very well. I don't think I've ever talked to him or anything. But I know they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, Vegas has been doing their thing, and I don't know what the locker room's like, obviously, but the 1-year deal kind of thing is interesting. Maybe they just didn't get drafted to the team they wanted to, or don't like some of the guys that were drafted with them. I mean, that's something Charlie and I were very careful about. You know, don't draft this guy and this guy because that's just asking for locker room problems. You know, so
Yeah, you gotta do what you can with who you picking. I mean, you can't always pick the best guys because they're the best guys. Sometimes you have to think about who they're playing with.
Yeah. I mean, if you pick the guy who hates this guy for whatever reason and then pick the guy he hates 2 rounds later, like, you're just asking for some shit in your locker room, and it's never a good look signing into a locker room and seeing that someone fought. And just,
Right.
you know, signing into anything and seeing that people are fighting, you're just kind of like, oof. I mean, sometimes we walk in the GM chat and then we just see people like kind of arguing, and we're just like, alrighty, turn around and leave. Like, fuck that. So.
Just to put that in that Simpsons gif of Grandpa walking in and walking
exactly.
out, just for everyone that needed that visual cue.
That's what I was thinking of.
Homer slipping back into the bush or whatever.
Right.
That's a good
Both
one.
of those together. That's each of you.
But yeah, I mean, the tricky part is I like all of our people, and they signed for 2 years, and so I wouldn't want to, like, you know, grab a big free agent and kind of plop them right down in front of them and stop their progression through the lineup. And progression is kind of a weird word because at this point everyone is earning, so it's hard to pass someone in the lineup. If you're, I know Nick, you're on line 2. Like passing Flappy, that would be tricky. I mean, if you're better than him and you work out on line 1, then great, I'll put you there. If you are better on line 2 and line 2 is actually better scoring and just a better line than line 1, like, then I might keep you there too. Like, we're open to testing all the things, but like it's kind of hard to move up, Whereas in different leagues, maybe it would be easier because people are already getting worse.
It's the beginning of a whole new league. First season, everyone's going to be the same. It's going to be a few seasons before anything major would happen anyways. No one's going to pass anyone yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you got lucky with the amount of like team-friendly players you got, right? Like you're going to have people that are willing to go down and just be on the team kind of thing.
Well, is it luck or scouting? You don't think we were asking people what kind of ice time they want?
That's just looking ahead, fellas. That's how we do it here.
We made sure we found those bottom 6 guys. You gotta have you need that on your team. If you already drafted 3 lines of people who want to be on the first line, and then you draft a 4th line of people who also want to be on the first line, like, it's gonna raise some eyebrows. So we gotta find the people who are like, dude, just fucking set me up with a fucking Logan's Lyrics channel, and then I'll be happy wherever, like, whatever.
Just give me a gnome emote.
Yeah, I mean, part of that is just making people happy in the LR, and like, even if their guys getting 1 minute per night because they suck and they understand that, if they're happy hanging out, like, that's a huge plus for GMs. And it's something we talk about a lot.
We definitely hang out a lot in this season. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to kind of change the subject a little bit, so.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick, and then we'll...
Oh, I was just saying that we definitely hang out in this locker room a lot.
Oh, yeah. And, like, I don't know. It's almost like friendly razzing. I mean, obviously that goal shit, the goal stuff last night was, like, kind of upsetting to me, but I'm sure after the pain wears off, it'll just be a meme, Kane's goal that he scored that never happened, it was all a dream. That kind of stuff.
We saw it.
In the end, it'll just be some kind of funny shit we can look back on and laugh at. Getting that kind of stuff set up is really good. So, like, having inside jokes is always important, I feel, to bonding and team stuff. So it's almost like a real team, you gotta get kind of people together and gelling and playing games or whatever, doing these podcasts. I mean, getting to know each other. We're real people with real feelings and connections, so that's kind of why we're all here.
Simulated is the hockey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Real people, fake hockey. Let's fucking go. But anyway,
that's how I see it.
Scruff, what did you want to talk about?
I was just going to ask a question about the contracts because I don't actually know the rules around it. Is 2 like the maximum for like entry level contract here, and then does it like where does it go from?
There is no max on 2 years.
Yeah.
It's the max, and then if you're under 700 TPE, I think, it's a max of 3 years. So it's going to be a little while before we see those 8 years.
So like progresses based on how good the player is.
Yeah, I mean, the minimum amount changes per 200 TPE, and then the years like kind of get unlocked after 700. And I'm sure once someone hits 700, we're knocking, we're going, oi, you want to stay here for a long time, get set up, we'll give you some. I was talking to in the last podcast, like, I'm down with some clauses. Let's make it fun, you want to movie night, you want to fucking roll in the server, let's have some fun shit. If you want to have if you have annoying clauses like I must be captain, like whatever, but I like more fun stuff. Like I get the DJ role, I get to pick the music when we are in the server, that kind of stuff could be fun. Just making everyone happy and comfortable. You got anything to add,
Sure.
Philip?
I mean, yeah, it's more about like the fun stuff in the locker and the more silly stuff. Me and Slash are not big on like, oh, like I want the top minutes and I want to be the best player ever. I want to get all the ice time and be captain and make $1 gazillion and all that. Like that's not really what we're about. And that's
That sounded like me.
to be honest, we don't
Oh
want to
shit,
be
you're
like
here.
that.
When did Nick multiply? No, but like, I understand that. I mean, especially with the role playing thing, right? I mean, you're never gonna be. I mean, sorry, but these guys in this league, like, they're not gonna be hockey players in real life who are gonna get $1 gazillion in the ice time and the players. So I understand the want to, I want to be a star. I want to be known in my thing as a star, but I think there's a balance that Trella and I are looking for, at least, between being a star and just loving the team you're on and wanting to help them out too. So that's where we're at, and we'll see how it progresses. I mean, right now we got everyone to a good contract, and I feel like it'll be trickier when people kind of catch on that maybe it's a little low dollar amount we offered everyone, but they took one for the team, and we do want to reward them. We got bonuses lined up. We're making sure everyone's getting the training. We're doing this podcast now. It's a $4 mil bonus we're basically doing because you just hop on and talk. I mean, I'm doing all the heavy lifting here, so you can call it a bonus and thank me later.
I mean, you're definitely gonna help pay for training for the season.
Oh yeah. I'm
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to
running
be
dry this week.
I'm trying to
Are
be
we really-
available whenever
Are we doing
we
our
need money.
jobs if we're not helping you guys out? You know.
That's what Trell and I are huge on. I mean, we want you guys to be able to do all you can, so we will help you get the money too. We'll make
I mean,
sure.
I don't see other GMs doing that.
Yeah, I mean,
Just saying.
we got
Throwing it out there.
these podcasts. I don't see too many fat contracts going out, so I wonder what other people start doing for money. That's also what I'm a bit concerned about in the league. I mean, I don't see a huge amount of media, and I know that they didn't take huge contracts. Like, maybe the biggest one I saw was 7 mil. Like, okay, you're good for this season, but other people are in 3 mil, 2 mil, 1 mil, that kind of shit. So what the fuck are they doing for money, you know?
Right.
So that's why I'm kind of thinking, like, let's just start throwing around money, see if people kind of show up and poke their head around and go. And I mean, I know that people don't have time, so that's what I'm thinking, like freelance jobs maybe, like a one-time thing. You sign up to do a play-by-play announcement, clip some goals in a stream, just make a quick buck for when you need training that on something that won't take that long. I mean, I personally fucking hate writing media and words, and like I'll spend 2 hours on writing words, and I'm like, oof, that was hard to come up with, and my head hurts, and I'll look, and it's like 800 words, and I'm like, damn it, I thought it was 2,000, you know? So podcast is the way to go for me. In other leagues I took jobs, but just figuring out the sweet spot for everyone and making sure they can continue growing in this league too, is I feel like the job of GMs and the commissioner and head office. But at least Charles and I, for you guys, we know what we want to do to get you the money, and we'll make sure you can get it, you know?
Yeah, you guys do a good job.
I mean, we definitely want to help the team as much as we can. You know, it helps everyone's experience get better. It helps our team get better. Everything. It's a benefit for everybody.
Yeah. All right, we're getting near the endish here, so let's go. Trella, who's your locker room shower buddy?
Well, if I go with anyone else besides Clint or Blues, it's illegal. So I'm gonna have to go with Clint.
All right.
Because he's Clint. You know, I don't really got a reason.
You don't need a reason. It's just Clint.
Yeah.
Nick, who's your locker room shower buddy?
You know, it changes every night.
Changes every night.
Oh, you
Yeah.
whore.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you gotta spread the love sometimes.
And Scruff, who's your locker room shower buddy?
Man, I was gonna say Nick, but now I
Oof.
don't know.
Oh,
He's getting around. He's getting around. Oh no.
you know.
I thought it was special, dude.
I could spend a little bit more time with you. It's no big deal.
Sorry, this is the we didn't DTS before the podcast.
Yeah, you gotta work that out. I don't want any locker room issues going on. That's
Well,
something
damn.
you'll work out in the shower.
I mean, I thought we were.
What happens in the shower stays in the shower.
Exactly. You don't need to know about the other. I'm not going to say a number.
Unless you claim it on the boards, right? Then it doesn't. Then the workout doesn't stay in the shower.
That's
I'll
right.
give my shower shout out to Irina. I mean, we got like a thing going on Twitter, but she's kind of unpredictable, so who knows who the fuck she's gonna shower with. She's like Nick. She's just getting everywhere. So
Any Russian that's on the team.
Oh, we got 3 Petrovs on the team, so
yeah.
Yeah, how
So-
did we manage that, by the way?
Oh, because we're godly draft snipers. And people underestimated Er's a
you
bro.
always underestimate her.
Well, they were just worried that he was every Petrov.
I guess
Multis.
yeah.
Alrighty, well, that's pretty much all we get paid for, so I hope that this was an enjoyable experience for those talking and those listening. We talked a lot about the state of the league and mostly about we're homers for Windy City, but what can you expect on a fucking Windy City podcast? So we're just helping out the team, and any last words for any of you guys?
Fuck mass trash.
Fuck mass trash, man.
Who?
I'm all down for that.
I agree.
You heard
Fuck
that.
'em.
Fuck mass trash. I agree. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one soon. Thank you.